Okay, here is part 3M, I believe, is which one this one is. Yeah, so I skipped 2M. This one for me was a little hard to get in the spot that I wanted to because I notoriously start my drawings when I'm on round parts in the wrong direction. So what you need to have your part is setting something similar to this. We're back at setup, and so let's jump over here to stock. So 2x2 is the block size, 1 inch thick. You give yourself 50 thousandths offset so that when we have our part in, it sits like this. This will be down into our vise. Got our part in there, looking at the front or the top, which is my right side. So I've had to flip it, manipulate it around to get it into the right position and orientation so that Z was up, Y was running north and south, in and out, up and down, however, and X is running left and right. Okay, so got my part, and I've got my stock, I've got my post processor, and I'm just going to make this part 2000. That plays no effect on what it is that you're doing. If you do not want it to be on the same work offset of 54, I always think this is strange with Inventor. If we want the work offset to be 55, we're going to click it to 1. And so we'll leave that alone, and we'll just kind of see what that does as we go. So back to there, and back to there, and set up 1. And we can change that if we want to. Don't have to if we don't want to. So I'm going to get my part skewed just a little bit so I can see it. Now, what I want to do is I want to go in and face mill this part off. I mean, obviously this part looks like it should be a lathe part, but it's going to be a mill part. So we're going to go in, we're going to do a face milling operation. We're going to bring back up some of our stuff that we used before, and so we can actually pull some of the tools that we used from 1M. Face mill. Select it. And man, this thing's like right on top of it. And so let's just see what it is that we've selected. Actually, we don't even have to see it yet. We can go on down and pick which section that we want to cut. Down here, we want to cut this guy. And go back to there, and go there, and it should have produced some parts. Yep. And so we can simulate it. And as we get more into this, it would be better to do some type of spiral pattern on this. But as we're just trying to get the hang of some of this stuff, then we're just going to leave some of it alone as we go. We can bring these back and get better at them as we go. Don't forget, we've got a ton of parts to work on this semester. Milling on our inside and our outside. Our inside part is 1 1/8 inch. Our outside part is 1 inch 9/50, I believe. And so what we're going to do is we need to pick a new tool. We need to figure out what it is we want to work with here. And so I think what I might want to do is let's just see what the pocket looks like, just playing around here. Okay, so we got to change tools. Not only is that tool big, it's just in your face. So let's move to a 1/2 inch, 0.5 1/2 inch 2 flute flat end mill. Make sure that we're working with the right one. Aluminum 2 flute. Okay. Flat end mill, and we need to get this pocket done. Let's just see what this pocket looks like in here as we go. I always do that. Okay, there's my pocket, and let's see what we come up with. All right, there's our part. That's actually not bad. I like that. It can come in. Now, cutter compensation is a little bit strange on these, so we're not quite there to working with that. What we're really trying to do right now is just kind of fumble through some parts. So that looks like it's workable. Let's see what maybe a 2D adaptive would look like on something like this. Oh, Looks like the entrance point's about the only thing that's different on that. So for my pocket, get there. For that, it's going in the middle. Actually, I like the middle better. Delete it out. Need that as my second tool. Okay, so second tool is a 1/2 inch end mill. Now I think we can really do the same thing on the outside. Let's see if we could do 2D adaptive for the outside of the part. Let's just try and see what happens. It's going to try and do a pocket. Let's just see what happens. It may come out and just be crazy. Just simulate this section. Ah, yeah, didn't work. Okay, take that out, and we're going to delete that. And so what we really needed to do is do it. See what this looks like on the outside. So what we want to make sure is that we're getting the outside corners of this thing worked out. Okay. Oh, that looks like it might do something right there. Now if we do it like this, we'll have to get rid of this adaptive here, because this adaptive is going to do the same thing. So let's just see what it looks like. We can either dump it. This is just a few mouse clicks, so it's not that big of a deal. Speed it up a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. Looks like we're doing a couple passes around the outside of it, chunking away some of that material. Yeah, looks pretty cool. So I can get rid of this. It will not do that groove if I want it to do that. We got to change tools on it anyways. So what I could do, since I'm already in tool 2, I can go ahead and do, if I want to do a finish pass, I can do this and do a quick finish pass around that inside. Okay, and then I can also, since I'm here, I can do a 2D contour on the outside. Mill around the outside. Just to bring those things into size if I want to, in case my adaptive is not. We're going to keep playing with some of those things as we go. So some of this is going to be a little redundancy. So we still have a face groove to do. And so I've never done one of those. We'll just have to kind of see how it goes. We've got to change tools as we do it though. So let's see what that little thing's going to look like. And we can try it with a 2D pocket. Just see what that looks like first. Got to change tools. And so we're going to change to a 62,000s. Let's try it as 1/16. And we'll go to all tools and try and get something to pop up here. And let's go that away. And let's go to all tools. And I need an end mill. I need a small flat mill to make that part. So let's go back to 1/16. Nothing in there. All tools. Nope. That's not going to be any help to me. I don't have a tool like that already described. So I probably need to make one. If we can find something we can modify. Oh, there we go. Nope, it's ball and mill. Let's find, here we got 16th flat end mill. Let's see what we got for it. Oh my gosh, saved our lives on that one. So we'll go in there with this end mill and selected that pocket, and I don't think that I'm going to be in love with that. That doesn't even make sense. We're not going to simulate that. Delete it. And so we still have that tool. And let's see. Oh, did not do it. So whenever, here's our problem. Whenever you have something that's not going to work, a toolpath that doesn't get done, it just says none there. So the difference between the two, here, this shows size 469, and this shows nothing. So let's go back in here, and I've got a problem with this pocket. The problem is that the tool is nowhere near small enough to fit inside of there. So we change to a different tool. Still does not want to do it. Why not? So no simulation available because there's no valid tool path. Alright, so before I give up on that one, I'm going to go back into it, and I'm going to pick the pocket, and it looks like it's right there. And I know that pocket is 70 thousandths in size. It's just not really going to do it, and it's pretty small to work with. Let's delete it out of there. Now, there is a couple of things that we could do. We could try this, 2D contour. Go back and grab that tool again, select it, and we can select this edge of it, and we can go around it. Oh, I already selected it. Back, and go. Oh, go back to just that contour. So, pros and cons on this thing right here. Really coming into our entrance point and exit point on this part. It will work in this one because of what we're doing, but it is not truly our friend. So that makes one side of it. And then we can do 2D contour again, and we can do make sure we're down the bottom of it. Do this other side of it. And go there. Like I said, it's a small enough step over that it will do it. But there's probably a better way to do it. So if I just look at that, go in, it's going to come out, then it goes in again. Yeah. Like I said, I think it's okay, but I don't think it's, I wouldn't say I'm impressed by it. Looks like step over is enough. That'll do it. But as we go, I think that there's probably just a better way to do that part. So to look at the whole thing as it goes, zoom out just a little bit. Alright, so let's look at it. Face mill. Come into our adaptive. Go down in levels. Notice the cutter staying on the left hand side all the time. There are some funky moves that I'm not in love with. If we get time, I would like to work on some of kind of cleaning up some of the inefficient tool moves that it's doing. See it just a little bit better this way. This way. Okay, that's our finished pass around it. That's our groove. So, the only thing I'd be concerned about is the groove going in and out. It actually looks like it's causing us a little bit of a problem if we zoom in here. Zoom window. If you look, it's going in here. Probably can change the lead in and lead out on those, on that tool. Step over for it. See if we can do this with no lead and no lead out. May not let us. Oh baby, sure did. So we'll go and do the same thing with that one. No lead in, no lead out. Okay. And so now we go back up to the top here, simulate this thing. I think that working with stuff like this is CAM programs are definitely good for us. They're faster than they've ever been before, and really just a lot more efficient than before. I mean, just to handwrite this program would take a lot of time. I mean, yeah, you can customize it and get a lot smarter, smoother movements on it, but in just getting parts done, this is a pretty good, fast way of doing it. Now, I think that whether you're using HSM or Fusion 360, whatever program that it is that you're using, I think that all of them function similar. I've used anything from SurfCam to Esprit, AlphaCam, HSM, and Fusion 360. I think once you learn where the buttons are, you're going to find yourself being able to do just about whatever it is that you want to do, and that's a pretty functional part. Now, what we haven't done are programs on either one of these on the backhand sides of them. So as we do that, as we run these parts, we'll run some backside programs. Backside programs are essentially going to be just milling off the back sides of it. So whether we would set up 2 vices in a mill and bore some soft jaws and just mill off the back 1/4 inch off of this one, or on 1M we could do the same thing, just mill off the back side of it. Same scenario, they're both 3/4, both really similar parts. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to let you tackle the holes on it. The hole placement is identical to what you have done before. So same thing from M1. So all you have to do is take care of that, and you'll have this part done. The part that's sandwiched in between this, 2M, is really similar to the 1M, and I think that you guys will be able to make it. The only constraint that you're going to have is you need to try and have these done by Friday at 11:59, and Tuesday we will meet in class and we'll walk through any questions that you guys might have, and then we'll come down to the shop and get started making some parts. All right, you guys have a great weekend.